Hey there, fellow gardeners. Welcome back to Grow with Soil. Today, I'm thrilled to share something that's been on my mind lately. Growing lotus from seeds right in soil. I know what you're thinking. Aren't lotus plants supposed to grow in water? Well, yes and no. While these stunning aquatic plants naturally thrive in muddy pond bottoms, you can absolutely start and grow them in soil with the right approach. Trust me, once you see those magnificent blooms unfurling in your garden, you'll understand why ancient cultures considered them sacred. I'll be honest with you, my first attempt at growing lotus was a complete disaster. I treated them like regular garden seeds, and let's just say they weren't having it, but after plenty of research and trial and error, I've cracked the code, and I'm here to walk you through every step of this rewarding journey. Before we dig into the how-to, let's talk about what makes lotus seeds special. These little guys are incredibly hard. I'm talking rock-solid hard. That tough outer shell is designed by nature to protect the embryo inside, sometimes for decades or even centuries. In fact, scientists have successfully germinated lotus seeds that were over 1,000 years old. That's the kind of resilience we're working with here. This hardness is both a blessing and a challenge. It means your seeds will stay viable for ages if stored properly, but it also means they need special treatment to wake up and start growing. Unlike tomato or bean seeds that you can just toss in the ground, lotus seeds require a wake-up call to break their dormancy. Here's where most beginners stumble, and where I initially got it wrong. Scarification is the process of breaking through that hard seed coat, and it's absolutely non-negotiable if you want success. Without it, you could wait months or even years for germination, or it might never happen at all. Alright, grab your lotus seeds and find the end that's slightly pointed or has a small dimple. That's the opposite end from where the sprout will emerge. Take a piece of sandpaper, a nail file, or even concrete pavement, and gently rub that pointed end until you see a lighter color showing through. You're not trying to cut the seed open, just thin the shell enough that water can penetrate. It usually takes me about 30 seconds to a minute of steady rubbing per seed. I'll warn you now, be patient and gentle. I've accidentally filed right through into the seed before, which basically kills it. You want to reveal the tan or cream-colored inner layer without damaging what's inside. Once you can see that lighter color peeking through, you're golden. After scarification, place your seeds in a bowl or jar of warm water. Room temperature or, just a little warmer works perfectly. Within 24 hours, you should see those seeds start to swell as they absorb water. This is exactly what you want to see. If a seed doesn't swell after 2 days, it probably wasn't scarified properly, or well, maybe it just wasn't viable to begin with. Keep changing the water daily to prevent any bacterial growth. Within 3 to 7 days, you'll witness something magical. A small shoot will emerge from the seed. Shortly after, roots will follow. This phase fills me with excitement every single time because, you're on your way to success. Let the seedlings develop in water until you have at least 2 or 3 inches of growth and several roots forming. This usually takes about a week or 2. Don't rush this step. Those roots need to be strong enough to anchor in soil. Now, let's talk soil. Lotus plants are technically aquatic, which means they want their roots in heavy, nutrient-rich soil that stays consistently wet. Think swamp or pond bottom conditions. Your typical garden soil or potting mix won't cut it here because they drain too well. What you need is heavy clay soil or a clay-loam mixture. I've had excellent results mixing about 70% clay soil with 30% garden soil or compost. The clay holds water and nutrients beautifully while providing the dense growing medium lotus roots prefer. Some gardeners even use pure clay, which works great if you can source it. Choose a container that's at least 12 inches wide and 8 to 10 inches deep for starting out. Lotus plants are vigorous growers with extensive root systems, so bigger is definitely better. Make sure your container doesn't have drainage holes. Remember, we want to keep the soil saturated, not drained. Fill your container about 3/4 full with your prepared soil mixture. The soil should be wet and muddy, not just damp, but genuinely saturated. Think thick pudding consistency. This is the environment your lotus roots crave. Gently press your germinated seedling into the soil, positioning it so the growing shoot points upward and the roots can spread out. Don't bury it completely. The growing tip should remain at or just slightly above the soil surface. Press the soil around the roots firmly but carefully to anchor it in place. Here's a pro tip I learned the hard way. Lotus shoots are surprisingly delicate at this stage. Handle them like you would a newborn baby. If you damage that tender growing tip, you might set your plant back significantly or lose it altogether. After planting, go ahead and add water to your container until it sits about 1 to 2 inches above the soil surface. You'll want to maintain this water level consistently, so check it daily, especially in hot weather when evaporation happens quickly. As your plant grows, you can gradually increase the water depth to 4 or even 6 inches. Light is absolutely crucial for lotus plants. You should position your container where it receives at least 6 hours of direct sunlight daily. Honestly, more is even better. These sun worshippers just won't bloom without adequate light, and weak spindly growth is a telltale sign they're not getting enough rays. Temperature matters too. Lotus plants are warm season growers that really thrive when temperatures consistently stay above 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're starting seeds early in the season, consider keeping them indoors near a sunny window until outdoor temperatures warm up sufficiently. As your lotus establishes itself, it'll develop quite an appetite. These are heavy feeders that benefit from regular fertilization during the growing season. I use aquatic plant tablets pushed into the soil near the roots every 3 to 4 weeks from late spring through summer. You can also use a balanced liquid fertilizer diluted to half strength and added to the water. Don't fertilize newly planted seedlings though. Wait until you see strong growth and several floating leaves developing. Young plants can be burned by fertilizer, so patience pays off here. Over the coming weeks and months, you'll see your lotus transform dramatically. First come the floating leaves that sit on the water surface, looking somewhat like lily pads. Then, as the plant gains strength, aerial leaves emerge. These stand tall above the water on sturdy stems. It's when you see these standing leaves that you know your lotus is really taking off. If you started from seed in spring, don't expect flowers the first year. Lotus plants typically need to build up energy reserves before blooming, which usually happens in their second season. But trust me, the wait is absolutely worth it. Growing lotus from seeds in soil is one of those gardening adventures that teaches patience, rewards persistence, and delivers absolutely stunning results. Every time I see those leaves unfurling or catch the fragrance of a lotus bloom, I'm reminded why we do what we do as gardeners. Woodsustain, I bedast would beer, enda juendain, dusper in duver, destrower, baparn, would jurgertner, setsain, but partnering with nature to create beauty. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Grow with Soil for more in-depth gardening tutorials. Share this article with your fellow gardening enthusiasts who might be ready to try something new and exciting. Drop a comment below telling me about your lotus growing experience. I'd love to hear your stories and answer any questions you might have. Happy growing, and remember, every master gardener was once a beginner who refused to give up.